The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. It's Monday morning-ish. Somewhere. It's Monday morning somewhere, right, Andrew?
Hey, man. I just feel like we're in a Corvette with them glasses. A little convertible.
My eyes are looking a little too puffed up. I just woke up from my second nap of... Well, I took a nap to sleep last night, so it's nap 2, but no actual sleep. Just terrible nightmares through the night and puffy eyes. And I have to be on camera for this. I'm doing Girls Gotta Eat after this, the podcast. Listen to me on that next week. And I just don't want my eyes to be puffy for that. But they are not. Well, they're gonna depuff by then. Right now, they're puffed up. Puff Daddy. They're also going by P. Diddy and
Sean Combs.
And
you can see them in the jacuzzi.
Yeah, and they
Smoke
could see them on
while
a
you do
date
me.
on Demois yesterday, and he was being very respectful. Like Demois, you know that thing that people send celebrity sightings into and gossip? They're like, Sean Diddy Combs on a date, and he's being very respectful of her. It's like, what did you think he was going to be doing? Pouring champagne down her ass and like licking it off her labia while he slaps it?
Ciroc, maybe.
Yeah, well, definitely Ciroc, if it's going to be anything. God, you can
You see
can
Bryan
tell so
Cranston?
often that they really want to drink something else, but they have to drink their own stupid stuff.
Yeah,
Not that it
Bryan
matters.
Cranston and that Aaron, the other guy from Breaking Bad, they have their own tequila.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Stop it with the tequila. Do a taste test with Kendall's tequila, George Clooney, that screaming guy from Breaking Bad who probably is truly unlikable in person just based on his demeanor and everything else about him, and just being an actor in general.
Yeah, I mean,
Bryan
these guys are
Cranston,
making billions of dollars.
And who's the other? There's someone else that has a tequila too. Oh, and Kevin Hart. Get all their tequilas and have them all taste test them, blindfold them, and see if they can tell the difference. Because I guarantee you they can't.
Yeah, and replace them all with
God,
vodka.
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. Oh my God, that would be my dream. If I could have a Make-A-Wish, it would be for all of those charlatans to get together and have to try to guess which one is their stupid tequila, acting like they go to the lab and
Nick
they actually
Jonas.
taste different ones. What?
Nick Jonas has a tequila.
I love
Nick
how
Jonas,
like the Rock is like
has one too.
He's like, I lived inside a cactus inside Mexico for 9 months.
He does have like, if he's like putting his arms up,
He does have his own
cactus.
He's his own brewery.
Yeah.
That's how they get it
They
out of
really
his nipples.
do act like they're, you know, if I ever make something too, I'm sure I'll have footage of me in the lab with a fucking coat on talking to scientists like.
And your Instagram
we're
caption
equals.
will be like 18 paragraphs about how it changed your life and how,
Yes.
you know, making kiwi vodka.
And my daughter will be in the picture with me.
Who you don't
Like,
even have.
Yes.
Just a made up one, a dead one that you dug up to put in the photo.
One of the scientists lend me theirs. That's
You
what
have a coat on and you're like, with a beaker and
I'll be in some
dropper.
vineyard acting like my feet are on the ground, touching the roots, tasting the grapes to make my tequila wine. I'm going to do tequila wine.
Hey, man, makes your clothes fall off.
Wait, isn't that the song? Tequila wine. Wait, is that a thing?
No, strawberry wine.
Oh, straw tequila wine. 17. Wait, is this going to be an inappropriate song?
Which
you know how
one?
you dissect songs and they
Oh.
sound so rapey and like a little pedophilic?
No, that one's fine.
Strawberry wine, 17. Hot July moonlight, saw everything. First dates of love. So you were 43.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe
there
it
we
is
go.
bad. You know, the first verse, not so much. You get to the second verse, it really just starts falling off the deep end. By the third one, he's
Giving me math lessons in your basement.
Doug-
You took off my bra and you said, how many bras do you have on now?
God, I can't wait to taste that. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, so what were we talking about?
Tequila.
Tequila?
morning.
Tequila.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I look hungover.
Now, how do you depuff? For all the women out there that want to get a puff out, how do you get the puff out?
Oh, my God.
Other than
Preparation
sleep.
H, I've never tried, but, you know, because it makes the thing on your asshole kind of shrivel.
The hemorrhoids.
Yeah, it sucks the moisture
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It's all about I really believe it's all about light touches on your face to get your lymphatic. Like you're supposed to touch on right below your neck, like right below your ear on your neck, like lightly to stimulate your lymphatic system. And then you sweep the moisture out towards those spots, and lymphatic drainage, I think is what it's called. But I didn't have time to do that today. And so I look like I'm a horse doing dressage. Is that I love that word. Dressage.
I didn't know that was a word.
That's like when horses go like clunk, 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 clunk.
Oh,
and they
I love
like dance.
that.
Is that dressage?
Yeah, I think it's like a beauty pageant for horses or something.
Oh,
and they
I
get to show
love
off their
that.
skills.
I love a horse.
I think that's my
dancing it
favorite
up.
word. Next to brandish.
Or brandage.
So we I don't know if you listened to the podcast with me and the ladies last week, but we coined a new term.
What is it?
It's called erape, when something is ear rape. Like a word or like something, Anya gave my favorite example of when someone posts something on Instagram, like they do like a tribute to their husband. And usually if someone's posting about their husband, it's not his birthday or an anniversary. The marriage is failing and it's a last ditch attempt to prove to everyone that you love your person. Because that person just came to you and said, I'm not showing up enough on your Instagram. And then they make a caption that says, this one. That's so bad. That was my favorite one. Today, on the girls chat that Noah, you're not in because you don't do WhatsApp, and I don't want to overwhelm you with those things, but you're welcome in if you ever want back in.
Thank you.
We were talking about erape, and Anya was like, Nikki, do you have any erapes? And I was like, I really don't. None come to mind for me. And she was like, you're just so accepting of others. And I was like,
Who said that?
did you hear my new theory about marriage? I'm not coming to your wedding unless you're over 40 or have been together for 4 years. No, Anya said that. No, she was like, you just don't judge other people. I'm like, I don't know, words don't really bum me out as much, but today we were kind of getting into it, and Anya said a new erape was, I'm going to tuck into this gnocchi. Like, the word gnocchi for me is disgusting, but when someone says they're going to tuck into a meal.
Yeah, that gnocchi, that is what's the
You're-
G? It's a
Gnocchi. And it sounds like you're going,
It sounds like you're choky.
yeah, gnocchi.
Let's throw a G on choky.
No, but a G, yeah. Gnocchi.
Oh, I'll take that.
I
Is that
love
what you're having?
Gnocchi's being made, though. That's a very soothing thing where they roll them up.
Oh, they're
Ooh.
little pillows.
They're so
I do want to
cute.
get in there.
Oh, they're just little pillows of pasta.
Yeah, just put a little weight vest on me.
And what were the other ones that someone said? Oh, yes.
Have you seen House of Gucci? Speaking
No.
of gnocchi.
Oh, no, but I heard that accent
you gotta
is
watch it.
terrible.
Please watch it sometime.
Well, she was trying something that really a lot of people enjoyed and a lot of people didn't.
Now make that Italian.
Now, did you talk like this? Was it more like this? Was it like this?
Oh, you're taking
Kind
me
of.
back to last night.
Oh, man. You watched it last night?
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours.
Why would you watch that of all the things to watch on TV?
It's a nice in between of a
Oh, of
girl
like a-
and a guy.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
And
kind of.
I like a story. I like those
rattles
kind
that.
of stories of like how the
Biopics.
family felt. Biopics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a true story that's made up. It's really good. Like
It
there's
is.
a lot of.
I mean, I heard people say either it was great or it was terrible or it was a.
I think it's both.
character,
It's
you know.
both.
Yeah.
I mean, Pacino
But
tries to
did
do.
you see Elvis yet? Because I'm
No.
wondering if Tom Hanks's Colonel Tom Parker is a lot like Lady Gaga's, whatever.
Yeah, where it seems overdone.
Who is she doing an impression of?
The woman. I don't know how much you want.
Versace?
Gucci's.
that's a different woman.
Gucci's wife. So
Okay.
like third generation
Gucci.
Gucci's wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gucci.
Who? Do you know the story?
Nah.
Oh.
I answered that like, do you want to hear the story? Nah. You
I
got
don't
it
wanna-
all in one word.
I got it. That nah was stronger.
Is it a really
Yeah,
good
okay.
story? Then why wasn't it made before?
It's not that long ago.
Oh.
There's a lot of great stories out there that never became 3.5-hour Ridley Scott.
Does it get
movies.
to the point of when, like Gucci becomes like this just like late, I guess maybe mid-aughts becomes like this.
It was mostly
When
from
did all
like
of a sudden everything has
1970
C's
through
and G's on it?
19
everywhere?
They had that for a while.
Oh, they did.
But 70 through 95, they were actually hurting a little.
Yes.
It's going. It's all
Spoiler
family
alert,
betrayal. Yeah.
A movie has a part where things aren't good.
Well, surprisingly, yes.
Yes.
But anyhow,
Do you think it's a
and
spoiler
Jay
to tell
Leno,
someone-
not Jay Leno.
No way.
What's his name?
I can't wait to hear who you're gonna say.
Jason Leto. No,
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Actually, I can see how that would be one.
Oh, I had a mannerism.
That really was because you confused two men.
Yeah. I'm dumb.
Jared Leto is in it. That's right.
He plays, anytime a character that's so good looking plays ugly, it's amazing.
Did you see Brendan Fraser looking fat for that new movie?
I thought that was in real life.
I know. It looked like it was just like a scene from his life now. But he plays a movie that he's the 600-pound man or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so, but it looks real. And I know people are like, why don't they get a real? It's just like, I don't know.
They're probably too lazy to learn the...
No, don't say that.
What?
That is fat phobic.
What?
It makes people think that fat people are lazy, which they are not, Andrew.
Sorry.
They either don't give a fuck and just like the way they are, they have a thyroid condition, or they have a eating disorder. And that's just straight up. That's not me being facetious. Wait, what, is it a spoiler if I tell you that a movie ends disappointingly? Is that a spoiler for you?
I feel like no.
I didn't like the ending. It ended kind of, is that a spoiler?
I don't think it is because it's your opinion.
Most
It's how you
movies end like
perceived it.
that aren't a
Yeah,
romance
that's a good
comedy.
point.
I mean, what movie ends
Oh my
happy?
God. I mean, like, most of them. I mean, that's kind of a trope of movies that they all end. It's usually, if a movie ends disappointingly, it's like,
I love a movie that ends
oh, I
disappointing.
love an ambiguous ending.
You don't even.
Draw your own conclusion. Build your own story.
I like the biopic pick, and then you go to Wikipedia to go, what was the real story? And you find out like 2 other things.
Yeah. Or like 14 things that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of biopics and stuff, I guess it doesn't really relate, but yes, it does. True events. I'm on my 3rd Columbine book.
Oh.
I'm reading the book, A Mother's Reckoning, I believe that the name of the book is, by Sue Klebold, Dylan Klebold's mother. And it is great. Oh my God, a mother, because when that stuff happens, the boys weren't around to punish. So the parents became the worst people in the world.
Yeah.
Like
It's obviously their fault.
It was worldwide. Yeah. I mean, even I thought that. I mean, I was young, but even I remember being like, these parents must have been either negligent, abusive, or kind of.
But they did draw up the plans, which I thought was weird.
Well,
No.
she thought it was for a play they were doing.
Yeah.
No. She went and got the foam core board to plot
Well,
it.
how much is it
Michael's.
negligence on the parents' behalf that they didn't notice?
She admits that it was negligence because she's not. She is so good about not ever making any excuses. But she truly, if these were your kids, I have never heard, and by all accounts, and I've read, this is my 3rd book now, and I've read a million different subreddits and things about it. Those parents were the best parents. Like, pick your friend with the best, most involved parents. Those were them. And they had no idea their son was suicidal and also building bombs with his best friend. No idea. And really, the only way that they could have been different is if she would have just been extremely annoying about his depression, which she said that, subsequently her sharing her story has led a couple parents to like pry much harder with their kids who were acting just a little bit stranger and unravel some stuff that like she's been proud that like she's inspired parents to just stay on their kids. So if you have kids and they're acting funky and they're like not telling you, what I've learned from this book is just keep asking because you know better than sometimes even they do, and they're not going to tell you. They just want to handle it on their own. You were a kid once, even though we don't remember really what that was like. But they were good parents, which is the weirdest thing. I just remember thinking they were the worst. But anyway, I started my Columbine book yesterday because I finished another book that I really recommend. It's fiction. It's recommended me to my friend Jack Post. It's by Colleen Hoover, which I guess a lot of people read. And it's called, and it was, God, I never remember the names to books, like ever. A Mother's Reckoning. I do remember that. It was called, what the hell? Where did it go? I just finished it. It Ends With Us. I really recommend it. The ending is satisfying. It's really good. It's about It's about domestic violence. I'm not giving anything away. It's about love. It's about
Bearing hips.
Children. It's about friendship. It's really, really good, and it made me cry. And I'm gonna read the next book by Colleen Hoover, so I recommend that to anyone who's looking for something to read. But I came back from Montreal yesterday.
How was that?
It was really good.
How was the meta thing? Or should we
The
get into
crowd
that
work
the
thing.
next?
Yeah, the crowd work thing I was dreading so much because I don't do it, and but there was something about it that was like, oh, I can't prepare for this in any way. And really, and then I
Did you go up first? Did you?
Yes,
I
went
you
up
really
first.
did.
Moses Storm was hosting it, and so he went up, and then I was running late to another thing they asked me to do across town, where I just had to do a 2-minute monologue where I made a joke that I was filling in for Carrot Top because he had a show in Vegas, and I go, and props to him. And I go, literally. And then no one laughed. And then I had to go, ready to start the show? I thought it was going to be like uproarious. Had no.
Carrot prop.
It's so funny to like bomb so epically with
Especially
a pun.
when you're like, it's going to hit them in a second.
It shouldn't have. They were right. Canada was right. But anyway, I made a couple funny jokes in it, and I really don't care. It's fine.
For the meta thing?
No. Oh, the meta thing was great. So I get there, and it's me. So the lineup is Moses Storm, me, Natasha and Moshe going up together, Nicole Byer, and then Pete Holmes. And we are supposed to build on each other's stuff. And it's all going to be watchable on Facebook, and then mostly for Oculus. So they're shooting it for VR. And so you go up and you are supposed to pile on what the person before you opened up. But you weren't really allowed to see what the person before you was doing. We had a little video village type thing where we were all in a green room together. Pete, me, Natasha, Chris was with me, and Nicole. We're all watching Moses go up, and it's my worst nightmare because we're all watching someone do comedy. I hate knowing comedians are sitting with each other talking shit, quote unquote, if they want to, about me on stage, like watching. And especially in a crowd work show where, at one point Moses did a bit, because you can't help but sneak bits in because it's just, you need something like a little bit of a flotation advice
like, what's your
device.
have to-
Flotation advice.
Yeah, I like being like, so when I was a child, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. He slipped into some bits, and which made it good because I was like, okay, I can slip into bits too. But I knew when I did, Pete Holmes was going to go, it feels like a bit. And just go, we're doing bits now? Like, I knew they were going to judge me for it, but it's okay. And I did really well, except it was funny, watching, there was a feed, but you couldn't really tell because it was in the round, you couldn't tell where people were sitting because it's in the round. If almost you get no sense of which camera it was and what direction it was pointing in. So I was looking for this guy with hair that was kind of like swooped in front of his face, like kind of goth, but it was kind of receding. And I was going to say he looked like he was in the band Fall Out Boy, but more like Falling Out Boy. And I couldn't find him. I was like, where is the guy with the hair? And I couldn't say what kind of hair because I was doing the joke. And then by the end, I was like, okay, if any other comedian wants to find it, the guy has hair that looks like he's in Fall Out Boy, but he's actually kind of older. So I was going to say it looks like Falling Out Boy. Good night. And so there was a lot of like just weird moments like that. And so it ended up being really fun. And then I went to my next show, and then I have more to say about Montreal, and we'll get to that after we get back from the break. Andrew!
Live from Montreal, coming up soon. Nikki Glaser is coming in.
All right, we're back. Yeah, so I did that show, but no offense to JFL, and I know Nick might be listening, and his lovely girlfriend, Marissa might be listening because they're both besties. But logistically, it was nightmare.
What, like getting venue to venue?
No, just getting to the country. It was, no one intends to make these mistakes. And me even complaining about it felt so stupid after the fact. But I wasn't super complaining. I was just like, okay, we got sent an itinerary to go there. And we get to the airport, and they're like, you were on the 3:30 flight, and we're there. Or no, you were on the 12 o'clock flight, and we're there at 3:30 for the 3:30 flight. And they're like, well, we'll get you on it. So we're supposed to have first class, but now we're, whatever, seats. It's fine.
First class, yeah. Is this going there or coming
going
back?
there.
Oh, going there. Okay.
So we're stuck with the luggage in the bows of the fucking plane. And then our connecting flight in Chicago gets canceled. So we're not even left St. Louis, and now we don't have a way to Montreal, and we're like, fuck. But our bags are already loaded. This gem of a woman named Jenny at the United counter in St. Louis. I love her so much. She really took it upon herself, and she did recognize me, but I don't think that helped because she was already like, honey, give me your ticket, let me see this, and like, let me take care of it. And then she was like, we were just talking about you in the break room. She did not specify what they were talking about in regards to me, but my name was spoken.
They probably saw some kind of suitcase back there. Reminds me of something. Wait, so wait.
Yeah, hastily one.
Yeah, so wait, so
Hastily
you
back.
got to Chicago or you were
No,
still in St. Louis?
Still in St. Louis, and our connecting flight cancels. And she's like, let's get these bags off the plane. We're going to get you on another flight through Toronto. And so Toronto. I've said it wrong again.
Oh, yeah.
They take my bags off the plane. She's communicating with the guy in the walkie, but she's also boarding the plane that we're not even getting on. And she's like, group 5. Okay, so it's going to be a pink bag. And then, okay, group 5. And we're going to group 4 and premium class. And remember, if you need to check a bag. Okay, John, I need you to grab a brown bag. What size is it? Carry on. Okay, group 6. No, like, she was so amazing. Like, no, I've never once. I wanted to do like I tried to do one, but we didn't have time of a post on my story where it's a celebrity being like, I just want to say that when I'm flying, I will never, ever go to anywhere else but United because it was amazing. Like, because celebrities are always like, Delta, you owe me an explanation for your customer service. And they're always just like so like, and it's usually during like when the war in Ukraine starts, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
You're complaining that they didn't let you bring your guitar on as a carry-on.
It's like the end of their impassioned speech of how we have to save Ukraine, but also Delta, you could go fuck yourself.
It has been the longest day. My baby is crying.
My nanny is tired
to taste all the wines for my new wine. Yeah, my nanny.
My wine tequila.
I have to sit and coach with my nanny. So she helped us out, got us on another flight. We get there, we land at, where flights are delayed. This is a new thing with flights. They don't delay them and let you know they're delayed. Your boarding time just comes and goes with no update on the thing. That is the new way. Expect it. If you are flying at all, expect that when you get a delay, it will not come through your app. It will not be a little text alert you get. It will not even show up on the gate sign. It will not be announced at the gate. Your time to board will come and go. People will start getting up, talking to each other like, did it board while I was in the bathroom? And then it will just all of a sudden start boarding about 20 minutes to 5 hours later without any explanation or apology. That's the new way. Just take it as it is, folks. Trust me, it's happened to me so many times. It has never before been like this, but that's the way it is now. And
Okay,
and
so you get
because your pilot, huh?
No, I was gonna say. So did you get to Montreal?
Yeah, finally got to Montreal at midnight. We land. They had me at the DoubleTree.
Midnight,
which
You
is
didn't
fine because I was
perform.
supposed to get in at like 10:30
Okay.
something.
Okay.
And I was supposed to do a midnight show, so I was like, I'll just walk on the show later. But by the time we got there, I was kind of spiraling because I was starting to feel really nervous. I was starting to feel social anxiety about seeing all these comedians. I started seeing comedians there that I desperately did not want to run into. That were stressing me out, and I just felt like, oh God, I'm such a
you were
social
worried
pariah.
about that. So how was that?
Every time I do, it was fine because we go to the DoubleTree, and I know that this festival puts up
Having
comedians.
Chris there must feel a little bit of a buffer.
Oh my
right?
God, traveling with Chris was, I mean, I just. It was the best. I was really nervous. I got to be honest, to invite my boyfriend to come with me on like a comedy.
Yeah.
Like he can come on the road with you and me and Matt and Anya, and that's always fine. But like at a comedy festival, bringing your boyfriend, it's kind of a look. It's kind of like a thing. And I know a lot of comedians do it, but it always creates like you bring this person in that just is kind of, you can tell their partner doesn't even want them there, and they are resentful of being there, and they're socially anxious because they're around comedians, and comedians are socially anxious because they're around a normal person. It's just, but he was the belle of the ball. He was so nice. Everyone loved him. He made friends everywhere he went, and he was just so supportive of me. And I understand now why people have partners, like,
Yay!
and like have a teammate in life, because I was up and down with my like nervousness, which made him steady as a board. flat as a board, light as a feather. That game that girls play at summer parties, except he's very bulky because he's been working out a lot. But he was just so nice and calming. Like everything I would complain about, he'd be like, but you know what? If they didn't accidentally put us at the DoubleTree instead of the W, because there's the W and the DoubleTree. W is clearly
similar.
a better, yes. That was Nick Brazow, if you're listening, Nick, that was his joke, was like, hey, you can't, Jesus Christ, that fucking thing just fell behind me and I jumped. We should do a slow-mo of my reaction just there because I thought there was a mass shooter in my apartment.
That was his joke, was like, hey, you can't, Jesus Christ.
He thought, he was like, they both have the word double in them, if you want to be fair. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point. So I will not tell you the name of the hotel I'm staying at, but I will tell you it has 2 U's in it. It's a Mitch Hedberg joke, but I adapted it because usually he says 2 trees. So it also reminds me of the John Mulaney joke where he's like, I'm not going to tell you what airline I flew with, but let's just say they're called Delta. So I'm flying Delta Airlines. And so we get to the DoubleTree and I'm a little bit like, I should be at the W. I'm sorry. I'm filling in for Howie Mandel in this gala. The other comedian who dropped out for this other thing I'm doing, I don't even know what comedian that is. They tried to convince me that they wanted me all along. And I'm like, I got asked 2 days ago. There's no fucking way. Who got COVID?
Save the best for last.
But they wouldn't tell me. Yes. So I'm at the DoubleTree, which I've stayed every time I've gone to the festival, but I haven't been to the festival in many years. And before then, I belonged at the DoubleTree. Not that there's anywhere anyone belongs. And I'm not too good for a DoubleTree. I love a DoubleTree. I stare at them all the time on the road. You get those warm cookies. But when there's a W to be had and all the headliners on the show, I know all the people staying at the W because I can say, I know. And I'm, you got the Mark Marons, you got your Amy Schumers, you got your, I don't know, Jimmy Carrs. They're all at the W. And Old Glazed Dogs at the DoubleTree. That's fine. Emil's at the DoubleTree. And then while we're waiting for our room, which they do not have a room for us. So we arrive at 12 o'clock. There's no rooms.
That's not good.
My name is not on it.
Oh my God.
And the festival is apologizing
Did you
profusely.
say Howie? I like the idea, too, that they had to cancel his room because he definitely had a room at the W.
Yeah. Well, they asked me if I have a pseudonym or
Oh, yeah.
one of those names, which this week,
An
last week,
alias.
Aliyah. Yeah.
Elias.
Alias.
Left eye.
Mine's Jennifer Garner, alias, this show. But they asked me if I had an alias, Elias, and I just made one last week. Because Jen asked me, my assistant was like, do you want an alias? Because some people ask for one. And I'm like, yeah, actually I have a good idea for one. So I do have one now. So I gave him that name and made everyone laugh and wasn't there. And then they finally are like, you know what? We're just going to give you one. You'll pay for it. The club will, you'll get reimbursed for it. I was like, fine, just get us in. Like, I just want to lay down. So Chris and I go, we get in our room, wake up in the morning feeling like Pete Diddy. And
With a
I have a
bottle
text
of
that's
Jack.
like, you're supposed to be at the W. What are you doing there? I was like, I knew it. So we have to, packing up after you've unpacked at a hotel is
Oh, so you
so
just
annoying.
went to the wrong hotel. That's why I didn't have
But they
your
told
room.
us to go to the DoubleTree.
Yeah.
They told me it was on my itinerary, the DoubleTree. So they misbooked that. And so we do the festival. It's fine. I mean, it was great, actually. I had a really good time. Hung out with Nick a ton, Nick Brazow, who I love so much. And I have a fun thing to announce for Nick at some point when that happens. But I'm going to tell Noah off. I'm teasing that one. That's going to be exciting for everyone involved. A bestie is doing something pretty cool, I think, with a connection to our show.
Oh.
I'll tell you guys off air, but I can't announce it here because it's not my story to tell. So anyway, we're leaving yesterday. We get a late flight because we wanted to stay in Montreal all day long and just, hang out after my shows were over. And we get to the airport at 4:30 for our 7 o'clock flight. Check me in, and they go, we don't have a flight for this guy. And he missed his flight at 12. They had booked a different flight for him out.
They're
we
like,
didn't
you're
even check
actually
the
flying the W. Like, what is going on here?
I'm not joking you. There's nothing exaggerated about how this is over less than 48 hours, And so Chris had to stay in Montreal because we had such a late flight.
Yeah.
My flight was the latest. There was no room. There was no
What
even
flight was he
standby.
on?
He was on 12:50 out, and we weren't even told.
This is exactly what happened on the way out.
Yes, same times too. And so, yeah, he gets stuck there and he's so cool about it. I mean, I would have been I was so annoyed, and I was like, should I just stay for you? But I had, I had this podcast, I have to do another podcast after this, and I had a COVID test and things this morning. And so he jokingly was like, well, this means you have to go in for radio for me. And I was like, babe, I don't know if I can. I have a really long day. And he was like, I'm just kidding. No, you don't. And I was like, no, but I would want to. And he's like, no, oh my God, no, I was just kidding. Like, no, because I was going to go on Tuesday anyway. And then I started going through baggage claim. I know, I go through baggage claim, and I'm like, I know this guy wouldn't hesitate to do that for me. Like, he goes out of his way for me in innumerable ways. Like, he doesn't question it. He is always, if he is like, that's the thing I love about him most. Like, if I'm in bed and I just get in bed and I'm like wide awake and he's like so tired and like had a hard day, and I'm like, I can't find my sleep mask, he will get out of bed to look for my sleep mask. Or if I'm like, oh, I forgot my charger in the living room, if I'll just say it being like, he goes, stay there, I'm gonna go get it. Like, he always does things. Even when he's tired, he will always put my needs first. And even when I don't need him to, want him, like ask him to, I guess. And it means a lot to me. And so I was like, I'm gonna go in. So we tricked him this morning. He didn't tell anyone else on his show that he was not gonna be there. And then I waited. I got there. The show starts at 6:03 usually. I think Tim and Courtney, Brando wasn't there because he's in Colorado, but I thought Tim and Courtney already in studio. I have the Arch app pulled up. I called another guy from another show in the building to let me in the door because you need a key card. I get in the door. I'm waiting in the stairwell with the Arch app, listening to the show, about to start. And then all of a sudden, Tim bursts in the door. Because I was going to walk in after they are like, where's Chris? He's not showing up. And they start like frantically texting him. Because sometimes people run late on the show. Very seldom this happens. But you kind of hear it go down live on air of like, well, Chris isn't here yet. Does anyone want to go try to figure out where he is? And so I was going to like take that panic and just go like, guess who's here instead of him? And like burst in. But then as I'm hiding in the stairwell, I see Tim walk in late. And I go, why are you late? It looked like I was just mad at him being late, but I was just really mad.
Wait, he walked into the stairwell?
Yeah, because he was running late. He's running up the stairs.
Took the stairs.
He was on
He
time.
saw you hiding?
And he saw me hiding. He just assumed I was coming in today. And he was like, oh. And I go, oh, God, why are you late? And he looks
It's like a surprise birthday
sorry,
party
I'm
getting
not
ruined.
Late. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he goes in, I go, don't tell Courtney. I'm just going to surprise Courtney. So I was like, okay, at least I'll get her, and because she's up there alone. Tim isn't there, Chris isn't there, and Brando, who is on vacation. So Tim and Chris both still haven't shown. Tim, I know, is on the way up. So Tim goes up. I hear the show start, and she's like, oh my God, I was panicking. It was just going to be me in here. And then Haley, this girl who's running the board that Brando usually does. And so I start slinking down the hall to like creep in to get ready for my big entrance. And I'm standing like right outside the,
Got a
the
hat
studio.
and a mustache and a rubber nose on.
I should have had that because all of a sudden I'm videotaping it because I'm going to videotape. I like secretly am videotaping Courtney through the window that you can't really see through from her end. And then all of a sudden she looks at me, and this is me creeping.
Gosh darn it! It's me!
So I see her all of a sudden see me, and I go, gosh darn it. But obviously I would have said God damn it and then, but I was already in radio mode, even though I was in the hallway. And so I said, gosh darn it, which I want to start saying Josh Hartnett.
I literally was just going to say that.
No way.
I swear on my life.
Really?
Swear on my life I was putting that together to say, I go, why does that sound
Like
gosh
Josh
darn,
Hartnett?
Yeah. God, what happened to him?
I don't know, but he was so freaking sexy.
How great was that movie where he had to not come for 40
days. 40 days and what was it called?
I don't know. That's like every
40
there's
days
a
and
lot
40
of movies with,
size.
like 40 days.
Yeah, there's
40
one with
nights.
Anna Heche and Harrison Ford. There's another one with
He's like,
Sandra
"Oh,
Bullock.
I can't come.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
gotta
was-
get
I
out of here. The whole movie was I can't come.
And I didn't even know what coming was when that came out. When that came, I did not know what coming was.
Man.
I really didn't know. Noah, do you remember when you found out about like cum and what it was?
I know when I found out.
I mean, boys, I feel like that's almost like when you get your period. It's like you're like, what's coming out of me?
Yeah. You get pre-ejaculate before you get it full post, I guess.
So do we.
I think that like
Yeah.
by junior
Like,
high school, I
in
knew.
our face. Junior, okay. But I just didn't understand, like, I just didn't, no like boners and like I didn't know any. It's just so weird what you don't know. It really does feel like you shouldn't have to figure these things out in the real world, and that there should be some kind of lesson being taught. But
it's like if you teach the lesson too early, then the kid is like, what? like there's like a moment of like, do you teach after the fact?
well, I remember when my cousin JD was like, Nikki, it goes in the vagina. Like the penis goes in to make a baby. Because I just thought they kind of like rubbed together like, sticks making a fire. And I could not believe
That's
something docked inside your, inside you.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even believe I had a hole. I don't think I'd ever like put my finger up there. I mean, this was probably, I was in 4th grade or something. But I remember being totally taken aback by it goes inside you, which is a wild thing that, men don't have something enter in them, which is very invasive.
Unless gay men, but yeah, But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. The first time, the idea of putting something inside someone, just connect. You're connecting, like bodies. It's a weird fucking thing.
It's so weird. Yeah.
We just. With sex, we're always just like, and then we were 69, he was eating my ass.
Well, because everyone just forgets it as soon as it's over because you have to, because it's too weird to focus on. It's like, it's my obsession. But how was your weekend?
I mean, I had a great weekend. I did 5 shows at Helium.
Nice. With Francis?
Francis, and this comedian goes by Little Sasquatch.
Why?
And I don't know what you're envisioning when you hear Little Sasquatch.
I picture a tiny hairy man.
No, it's like a boyish guy from Barstool, and he got very big on Twitter through this name, and so now he's just the name.
But he doesn't look anything like Sasquatch.
Nothing like a Sasquatch.
And he's not little?
And he's not little. He's tallish. He's 21 years old. He's like, whatever, has a following already through Barstool. Extremely nice kid, like trying to do the New York circuit, but understands that he's nowhere near where his celebrity, or like how well he could draw versus how good he is on stage.
Draw means how many people you can get to your show.
But he was so nice, and he actually is going to be very good. Like, I think he will be.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we just had like a boys' weekend. We played golf. We all played out of the same bag out in the middle of Illinois, middle of nowhere. Francis is a D1 athlete, Harvard.
What kind of athlete?
He played lacrosse. He's like 6'4". He's just a Adonis of a man, I feel like. And we always talk shit, and I beat him, which made me feel so good because all that practice.
Yes.
And I was just like, granted, we were playing with my own clubs, and he had to play with my clubs.
And he doesn't golf every day.
Nah, not 9 times a day.
Yeah.
Just 8. but
and he was a D1 athlete 15 years ago.
Look, these are all asterisks, Nikki. These are asterisks.
And he was a D1 athlete in a sport he probably doesn't play it as an adult either.
You know what, Nikki? When you're right, okay?
I famously went on a date, I guess notoriously went on a date with.
Did we talk about that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, we should.
With Francis Ellis.
I don't think he'd care.
I love Francis. No, I think I've talked about it on You Up.
He's so funny
ago.
now, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
He was fucking really making me laugh, dude. He almost talks in a Gaffigan kind of cadence, like kind of a happy man that's like, I don't know. He just fucking.
Does he talk that way on stage too?
Yeah.
Or off stage too?
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He, but it was funny. We were at this place in the middle of Illinois and.
Illinois.
Huh?
You say Illinois, like Ellis, but it's Illinois. No?
I'm Illinois.
But say it again the way you say it.
Illinois?
Illinois. Ill. Like I'm feeling ill because it's ILL, right? And you say L, like it's ELL.
Yeah, I say ill. I don't say L.
No, you say
he
L.
fell L.
Play it back, but you said L.
Oh, no, I'm not saying I didn't say L.
Okay.
Illinois. I definitely say Illinois.
Yeah.
Like Eleanor.
It's like saying Missouri, and it's like, where's this A coming from? People do that.
So this old guy is at the counter, and there's one guy in front, and there's 2 other people. Like, it's not a busy clubhouse. But you get outside St. Louis, people move like turtles, like the slowest people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I know I need more patience, but then it's also like they're just like, it's just the simplest stuff they somehow make complicated.
Were you in a rush?
We weren't even in a rush, but it was just like, so you are getting a cart? We don't have a clubs for you, so you're gonna get a cart,
right?
Are you sure you want? Because I think one of you gonna be walking from, and it's just like this. And then it's like I was gonna get a Powerade, but I didn't want to add one
stole
more
it.
task. I stole it.
I mean, sometimes you just want to.
I know you do. I almost tailored it, but I didn't, and I just
Tailored it.
But it was so funny to not add one task. You know what I mean?
I do it all the time with things where I just like, nope, it's just gonna make.
It's
going to
make it even harder,
I'm doing
but it's
the
not
math
even
in my head already.
Yeah, it made me 3. By the way, that's a lot on me because I.
So you want the blue one? Okay, so the price on that. Let me see over here.
Yes.
The list needs to go down. Then the blue Powerade Naked types 1 point.
Oh, that's the red one, which
8.
is.
Oh, wait a second. I put in a 99. Now, I don't want to charge you for that extra cent. You look like a guy who likes to keep his cent, and then he has to subtract. It's just like Jesus Christ.
I'm like, what? We don't have time. Golf is slow as it is.
That's why I love Chelsea Handler tells a story when she's at Hudson News sometimes.
Okay.
At the airport. She'll just hold up like the M&Ms in the magazine and the water and just throw down a 20 and just go, putting it here. Just walk it out, keep the change. I can't do this. And
that
it's like,
could have worked. Yeah, if I just go Powerade, throw down a 5.
yes.
But then he'd go, but don't you? And then he'd probably walk out and go, "Excuse
He'd
me,
probably
sir,
find
you probably
you,
want
and then
the
this guy's-
$3."
yeah.
It was 50 cents because that's gonna get you
It's too much.
a quarter tank of gasoline. Gas prices are high, aren't they?
Jesus Christ.
So, anyways, we had a lot of. It was a very fun weekend. It was a very testosterone. It's funny when it's 4 guys in a small little green room. You know, it's just
4?
Well, there was the opener too.
Oh yeah.
This guy Ronaldo, a funny young comedian.
What are the times you guys are doing?
I did. It was like 12, 15, 30, 30, or 12, 15, 25. I just came
so
on.
they were co-headlining.
Yeah, they were co-headlining.
Got it.
The crowds were great. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't
good club. Out in the Galleria Mall, which used to be the coolest mall in St. Louis.
Was there always a club there? Did they
No,
fill in?
that came in
Oh.
probably 5 years ago.
Is Galleria known as cooler than Frontenac? I know I'm saying it wrong.
No,
it's not.
no. It's just like ridiculous that you asked. Like
Really?
that's just like a funny St. Louis. Frontenac is like the nice mall, and
Yes.
Galleria is like trash.
Oh.
now. It used to be the nice one. That used to be
Gotcha.
like when I was in middle school. That was the one that everyone went to, but then. It's still nice, but I think there's been shootings there and things like that. And so all the people in West County now look at that as like, it's dangerous and we're going to stay away. And so they just go to Frontenac now.
Oh,
Because St. Louis is
Frontenac
deeply
sounds segregated and racist.
racist.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, St. Louis, I love you, but you've got a problem.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about that on stage.
Yeah. And did they acknowledge? Did they laugh
Yeah,
at their own?
they do. They laugh at it, but then they're like, "Why are you laughing?" like
Yeah.
you're laughing at a different.
You're laughing
part.
at you're not laughing at yourself. You're
I have a
laughing
joke
at,
that puts the racism in their heads about like I don't say the line, but it's already thought of.
Oh, I know that joke. Yes.
No, it's a different. I think it's different. I haven't told it before. But
Okay.
anyways, long story short, I don't even know.
They get to the punchline.
They get to the
real fast.
punchline, and then I was like, "You thought I didn't."
Yes.
That's in your head.
Oh, the old
Oh,
switcheroo.
the old switcheroo.
All right, we'll get back right after this, and we're gonna do a special Monday segment about F-Boy Island.
Anal Eyeland.
All right, let's do it. It's time for Anal Island. Those are crying girls. and producers.
Is that Mia having
Yeah.
a panic attack?
Yes.
Which I empathize for because I deal with them too.
Yes, you do. All right. So yesterday, F-Boy Island, of course, is now 8 episodes available on HBO Max. The final 2, episode 9 and 10, will drop this Thursday. I am not caught up fully.
What? What episode are you on?
8.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh,
that's
you're
the
in the
middle
middle
of
eight.
it.
Okay.
I was watching it with Chris, and we got a little amorous during it. And I definitely was...
Did it help you orgasm watching yourself on
to
TV?
myself doing
Yeah.
consent coyote. I swear to God, I was like gently kissing my boyfriend in a loving manner and having this really intense like love moment and I hear like, well, is it okay to talk to a girl on a treadmill when she's got her AirPods on? It was like me doing the worst puppetry. And it was so bad. We were laughing so hard. It was really funny.
I love that, like, you find out the only way you can orgasm is watching you on HBO.
No, it is not. It was the opposite. I was like, please make it stop. I could only do orgasm if Louise started talking.
Consent Coyote was I really love these little, like,
interstitial sketches.
It's
They're
fun.
fun.
Yeah, just like a little scripted kind of thing that is very silly.
Yeah.
The show is so fucking silly.
So silly. Yes. And we have tons of questions that our listeners submitted yesterday via Instagram. Noah is shaking her head in disbelief of how many questions we got.
So many good ones. I would love to get through all of them and my questions too, because I also have burning questions.
Yeah, please. Ask yours. Let's start with yours.
Okay, so I only have 2 of them. And the first one is for you, Nikki. And I guess for Andrew too. The date where they went on, like, with all the 3 guys, I was wondering if you would ever be able to go on a date with like 3 guys who are really into you.
Yes.
You would love
it. Because I get off on for myself when girls are into my boyfriend, and I think that
you're talking with 2 other girls and your boyfriend. What about
I'm
3
talking about
guys
me and 3 other guys.
Okay,
So I'm
Yeah.
saying I think that it would be good I would instantly know who I was most attracted to by who seemed to handle it the best. I want to say that, like, this weekend, Chris encountered people that he knows I've been with before, and he was such a pro and was so sweet about it, and like it was kind of flirty about it, and like it was fun. It was like it was sweet because at one point I think he said he was like, you know what I like? He was like, I like that guy looked really happy to see you. So I could tell that he probably really liked you. And I like that you liked someone that really liked you. And that made me really happy. He was
very
like,
mature way to look at it.
I loved it. And then we saw Hannah Berner, who I have also said that I am very attracted to, and she's attracted to me. And we're like the only 2 women that we each have extremely, like, she was my first like girl that I was just like, I think I kind of want to go down on her. Like, I don't know. It was just a weird feeling I had the first time I saw her, and she felt the same for me. And, she really spiced things up for me and Chris because she came and met us and we were just all over each other, and it was fun. It was fun for, like, not all over each other, like, physically, but we were just saying inappropriate things jokingly, but it was like all really hot and fun. So I think I would love it. Would you not love it, Noah?
I think it would be way too much, and then I would probably lean into like the bad thing that I do, which is, well, I have to people please, and I have to make sure that all of them are getting adequate time. And
I would do that too.
The girls all said that it was very awkward, even though they did like all like the worship and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't prefer it, but I actually might.
Did you see that part? Did you see that part on the show?
Yes,
yet?
I did see that. Or I
thought
at least heard it.
Danny handled it so well.
Yes.
Like, Danny was a pro with Peter stuff, and it really made me like them way more. That one little scene when he has the kite on the beach, and Peter comes up, and they're like kind of flirting with each other through Mia. It almost is like, why is Mia even there? I thought they were about to fuck, but it was like,
but Danny was not handling jealousy before very well at
Oh,
all,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
made him very unattractive to me. Of him being like, "This is Garrett's acting like it's his house. It's ours."
That's
he walks in
true.
here like it's his house. It's like, Dan, we get it. You think that he acts like it's his house. You think that's a good line, so you're saying it 3 times. Just say it once is enough.
Yeah.
That's the thing that
Should I
F-boys
say it in this
do.
camera?
Yeah, you're goofy. You're goofy, you piece of shit. You goofy piece. That's what they do. These guys need to realize if you repeat something twice, it makes it lose its power.
Got
Like,
it.
if you have a good line, just say it once.
Okay,
Just say it once.
Let's get to
Just say
bestie
it
questions
once.
Just say it
before
once, one time.
you have to
That's
go on
irony,
Girls Gotta
but-
Eat.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. We got a couple of these. What's the deal with Aaron and the boring guy edit he got?
That is something that came out of, we noticed he was quiet during the whole thing, and we started making fun of it a little bit. I'd be like, wow, Aaron, that was really intense. Like, he would just say, I think during the pepper challenge, I asked him I was like, Aaron, are you ready for this? This is one of the hardest questions, and we're really going to get to know you. I was like, what is your favorite color? Like, we were just joking about how he's just so boring. And so we were already like kind of teasing with it within the show. And then I think in the edit, they realized it would be fun to just like, instead of trying to make this guy interesting or trying to make more jokes about him, let's just take him out of the show completely. I saw it the first time that they even addressed him being boring was the very quickest little thing. He had his like nameplate up and it was probably on screen for a second and a half, but it said silent film star under his name. And later on it was, under his name longer. But the first time I saw it, I was like, I wrote to Bill Dixon, silent film star, LOL. And I loved it. But Elon, the creator of the show, called me like probably a couple weeks before the show aired and just told me like, Nikki, this season is so good and we're doing some weird things. And he told me about him deciding to completely cut the date out that he went on with Tamaris and instead just be like, here's 10 seconds of abs because this date was boring and we're not even gonna try to make it funny or make it interesting. And I go, that is genius and I really respect it. It means you respect your audience. You're not trying to like give them stuff that they don't want.
It was interesting though, Aaron. I do remember. Well,
He's
I
nice.
guess that's next week. But on the Mansplain, he does finally speak, and he's very aware and when he's talking about Miami and people moving there and them being like, "You're not ready for this," and like he lived a lot of life.
Yes.
So he's like,
just because someone is boring on the show does not mean they're like
Yeah.
a boring person. It
Yeah.
just means
Yeah.
that they just don't.
he was almost too mature for the show.
The show, you will
in
not
a way.
succeed on a reality show like this if you do not feel comfortable interrupting people and thinking you're the shit. And
Yeah.
it's like, I just realized someone said over the weekend, they were watching someone special and said that they like lingered on stage a really long time afterwards, like waving to everyone. And even at Montreal this weekend, they wanted me to come out because I opened this one show, this big gala, and this thing lifts up and it's me. And they're like, Nikki Glaser, and everyone gets on their feet because they're instructed to do so. It's a taping. And they wanted me to really vamp and like go to the side and wave and then go to the other side and wave and then hit my mark and start the show. And I was like, that ain't me.
Yeah.
If you ever see me live, I will be running off stage as soon as possible. I know that you might like me. I just think that you want to get home and I've already taken up enough of your time. And I do not ever want to see someone rushing to get out. I just don't understand people who like love to just like, thank you. Like that's a person with a personality
They hand
disorder.
out roses.
Not that I don't have one, but I don't have that one.
They hand out roses to the crowd to throw up at
Yeah.
the stage.
So
Be
you
like,
have to be-
I can't.
You have to be a vamper. You have to be someone who has a huge ego to do well on these shows. And if you don't, you'll either get written around or and I do believe we don't hear a single word from Aaron the entire
Yeah,
series.
I feel like the silent ego just doesn't. You know, the strong
The joke
silent type. It
becomes-
doesn't work.
But
It
I've
just
been
doesn't
told by
work.
producers that the joke becomes they completely give him no lines the rest of the show. All right,
Okay.
next question.
But he's hot on Instagram. Go watch him like hit a tree. He does shit like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. How much
We can-
insight do you get about how the contestants are feeling?
I get a lot of insight into how the girls are feeling. I think I get a lot. Like I think the producers come in and tell me a lot about like who likes who and how the dates went. But in terms of like, you could really only know how someone's feeling based on what they tell you or what you observe. And sometimes I think that the producers don't observe correctly, or they do and it's not communicated to me, or like that's why I've realized I really want to be more so involved in like watching the footage, even though that's going to be hard to do because they shoot so much. I mean, you see 5% of what gets shot. There are thousands of hours of footage that are being shot, literally. And so it would be impossible. But yeah, I really do care about how they're feeling. And so I ask a lot. I think I probably know more than most reality show hosts.
Okay. I like this question. If Andrew was picked to be on the show, would he be an F-boy or a nice guy?
Nice guy. 100%.
With F-boy tendencies.
Reformed F-boy. But your F-boy tendencies would have been not because you just want sex and you don't care about women, you want to be cool. It's because
I would have been a nice guy.
you have anxiety.
Yeah, I would be a nice guy.
But you pretending that a woman that you slept with at Sephora was that you were invisible in front of her,
Yes.
like is what a thing you did once when you saw someone you hooked up with, was not because you hated her or because you were like, oh, she's a dumb bitch and I don't want to talk to her again. It's because you had anxiety.
Yeah, it wasn't because I was like, I fucked it and left it. It's just I fucked it and I don't think it loves me.
Yeah, I don't think it
Like,
can love me. I don't think
yeah.
I think it's embarrassed of me. I'm embarrassed of what I did.
I know, it's so funny when behavior can be,
Interpreted that way.
yeah.
So often I think people hate me or
Dude,
something, and that they
all the
just
time.
are bad socially.
All the time.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think a nice guy'd come in.
definitely a nice guy.
Okay, let's do some behind the scenes. Why are the men wearing the same necklace? Does it give them access to the gym?
It is. That's hilarious. It is a microphone.
Yeah.
So you'll oftentimes see people on these shows with like all one necklace.
And
And
puka shell or whatever.
and the girls don't wear a necklace because they are mic'd individually, which is a huge process. Getting mic'd when you're wearing these little outfits is like, it's really hard to conceal the mic. So it adds so much time. And so for the guys, and the guys are shirtless most of the time. So it would be weird to have a mic taped on them. So they just do it via necklaces. I've always wanted to call it out because it looks so insane.
Yeah.
And you kind of don't notice it on some guys. They'll be wearing a shirt that kind of covers it or it fits in with their other thing going on. So next season I've made a note to we need to make jokes about the mic necklaces because it is I don't want people at home going like, why is this guy, his outfit is impeccable except for this fucking ugly wood bead necklace.
I always feel bad for when you have to get mic'd. The guy's like, so I'm just gonna go up through your vagina. I'm gonna come out your
Yeah.
mouth, and they're very professional, but it's just like
They're always so shaky and so nervous and so I'm going to just tether the line through your lips and then I'm going to spin it around your clit and just tie it around. Is it cool if I clip it to your clit? And they're just so gentle and nervous.
Can you do a sound test?
And I do not understand. I love everyone that works in sound. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But mics are not that difficult to put on as mic people. I think men are just so nervous. I think tech guys that usually worked in theater probably didn't get a lot of experience with bras and women's undergarments. So they're just nervous nerds, fumbling with your bra. And they're always so nice and so respectful because they know they're being invasive. But
The first day
just
you should
hurry it
just
up.
be like,
I always
just
am
grab
just
my
just
tits. Just
look-
grab my tits. First day.
I think I'm going to next
Yeah,
time, except
yeah,
I'll
just-
probably be.
Oh,
That'll
don't
be when I
yeah.
when I
You're
get
like, I was
let
just
go.
trying to help the guy.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Okay.
Great questions.
Are the eliminated F-boys really living in Limbro?
No.
Yes.
They
You lied
are-
to me.
They are at a hotel that is not as nice as the one that the nice guys are being put up at. So it is a shittier situation. And they are stuck on this island with a security guard making sure they don't leave for the remainder of the show so that they can come back for the mansplain. So the reason that the mansplain, which is the kind of reunion show that happens on, I believe, the 9th episode, the reason that even became a thing is because of COVID. Because when we did the original show in Cayman Island, we had to isolate everyone for 14 days before they got to be on camera. And if we just eliminate the guy in the first episode, then we've paid for this guy to be on the island for 2 weeks for nothing. And so they were like, you know what? We need to find a reason to make all of this worth it. Let's keep him around the whole time and have this reunion show prior to which is a different thing about our show is that we bring everyone back for these girls to have all the information they can to make the right decisions before the end of the series, which most of those reunion shows happen after. So these guys are all kept around. So Limbro and the nice guy Grotto were born of the fact that we have to keep these guys around for this mansplain. And what do we do with them? Oh, let's put them in either a purgatory, which is a place for, sketch work. I was really upset the first season because I was like, no one's going to believe these guys are sleeping here. This is so stupid. It's going to make the show
That's
fake.
how I was thinking too. I was like,
And then it turns out no one expects anyone to believe that they're sleeping there. It's okay that that they're not. The show is very wink, wink. The parts that are real and the parts that aren't. And it's very clear. And that's what
It would be so amazing if we kept them in limbo, didn't feed them, just made us essentially a concentration
ripped all their
camp.
clothes.
Yeah, and they're like, no, yeah, they're like 30 pounds.
Made
That
them have sex with
mansplain.
a coconut sand woman.
Look, we killed 4 off. Look, that's what the show is.
Yeah.
Just the darkest shit.
That's so
ever.
funny. All right.
Next question, and I'm loving this, by the way, all the behind the scenes stuff. Do reality shows like F-Boy Island have several takes per scene?
No, not in the reality aspect of the show, which by the way is different than my stuff. So the elimination rounds, I will do, I come out, hey, this is how the elimination goes. So the reality stuff, they're never going to do second takes of Garrett approaching Peter or, Tamaris confronting, Casey. That stuff all happens the way it does, right?
Yeah, because they have more than enough content. It's
Yes.
not like they're trying to shoot on a budget where it's like, we only got 7 hours today. We got to make sure.
They do not know what's going to happen. I mean, they knew that bringing Garrett in would be weird, but they didn't know that he was going to go confront Peter. Had no clue. Like that was all just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? This is what they do. Like you set up these people to be in a situation where you give them enough like confidence before you go in, like, dude, they're gonna freak out when you get in there. You are a guy that they are all dreading to see. You're gonna stir things up. They're gonna be jealous you're there. You were the guy that's been on the first season. Everyone reveres you. So he walks in with this inflated ego, and when you send someone into a ring like that, who knows we don't know what's gonna happen, but something will happen. So but then the eliminations, how it works is that those nights I go out and I stand by myself with no one there, and I just do cold reads is what they're called. And cold reads means like it's just getting the lines just to have it for safety in case God only knows what happens. And it's just me going, welcome, gentlemen. So tonight there are 12 of you left. And then I do a bunch of roast jokes where they use maybe 1 or 0.02% of all of the jokes I do. I mean, literally, I think they should do a gag reel of all the jokes that I said that didn't make it. It would be amazing.
That would be great.
All the roast jokes are so... You don't even have to have the guy that I'm roasting. You would just know exactly what I'm talking about.
Like a 20-minute
Do you
bonus
guys write
episode.
those jokes?
Yes. Andrew and me and Bill all like get together and we write all the jokes, because usually the guys come out and they look so sad. So we just write jokes of like, did you guys just find out Joe Rogan was canceled again? Did you guys just find out that OnlyFans isn't allowing nudes? Did you guys just find out that Snapchats can be saved? What's wrong with you guys? You look so sad. Did you just... And then Andrew wrote the joke, did you guys just find out that no matter what you do, you'll never be as fuckable as Pete Davidson? Like these things of like, you guys look sad. Why did you just find out that I don't know. We had I looked him up this weekend because I was looking for like
the hair thing, the chest hair, the asshole. That made it. That was fun.
you have less hair than my asshole. Yes,
on your chest.
On your chest.
Dude, that joke I love.
That was so funny. Yeah,
yeah,
you wrote
dude.
so many good ones.
Those are some of the most fun moments, obviously. But yeah, the fact that they don't use they use less than
1 per episode. Seriously.
But you know what it is? I think it's like
they just don't have room.
They just don't have room. It's just 10 episodes.
I would maybe ask them next time, instead of airing a date of Aaron's, let's just air a bunch of jokes of Nikki's that we couldn't have time for instead of abs.
Well, why don't we show Aaron's abs while they hear our jokes?
Yeah, it's just like it's a juxtaposition of me over it with waves crashing in the background, just saying jokes. That would be amazing, a montage. So then I go out and do cold reads, and I just go like, okay, Mia, who are you eliminating tonight? Mia, who are in your bottom 2? Mia, who are you in your bottom 2? Your bottom 2, Mia, who are they? So I just do a bunch of different versions. Then Tamaris, then Louise, then Casey, what are you? F-boy or nice guy? Casey, F-boy. So some of those times where you see me go, it's like from the cold read where no one was standing there. Then we go into, then they bring the girls out and I talk to them without the guys there, just so that they feel a little bit freer to say things that maybe we would like them to say, but they wouldn't feel as comfortable with all the guys. Then they bring out the guys. But I will say most of the stuff you see that airs from eliminations, I would say 99% of it, which I'm remembering for next season so I don't have to do cold reads anymore, is all live. It's all, we do everything the same way. There's some stuff we get just in case, so I get clean reads of it is what it's called. But most of it is all, everything you're seeing is happening in the moment. And the biggest things you're missing out on from the eliminations that get cut around are how fucking long it takes people when they walk off to recompose themselves and do an interview so if Mia walks off because she's having a panic attack or just really upset with Peter and she walks off, which is great TV, thank you, Mia, you're doing the right thing, everyone has to wait about 40 minutes because it means she has to have her meltdown, which is going to take however long. Someone's going to go comfort her, which will also take however long. Then she will have to be then individually interviewed. You know when you see on reality shows where the person's just standing off to the side? It's called a on OTF, on the fly. So it's like an interview you get while the show's happening on the fly. It's not scheduled. So they take you and put you by a palm tree and they interview you and your hair's blowing in the wind. And you're like, I just really don't understand why Peter said that. Those are called OTF, on the fly. So then they have to get her doing that to explain why she went off camera. And then finally everyone's like, Mia's coming back. And then it's places. But during that time, we're all kind of, another lingo word, stop down. So we're all just like waiting around and I sit down on the couch with the boys and I'm not talking to them because I'm not really allowed to, but like I don't have anywhere to sit. Next season, I'm definitely going to have a place to sit because everyone's sitting besides me, even though I'm the host and I probably should stand. So I probably will still be standing. Okay.
I'm shirtless looking in the mirror. Yeah, it's tough.
And if you guys want to catch, Robin, my makeup girl, had a terrible fall during this one. If you look at where I'm standing on a wide shot, wide meaning like you see the
Robin
whole.
fell?
Yes, dude. You were down in the green room, probably.
Looking at my chest, yeah.
It probably was. We had just gone up to.
Where did she fall?
So when I'm standing there by the pool at elimination,
Yeah.
right to the right of me, I'm facing the ocean. Right to the right of me is this tiny sliver of concrete that is carved out so that there can be water from the one pool to the next, and it is probably 6 inches long or 6 inches wide, and anyone could have fallen and her foot just goes into it, and I was so scared her leg was going to break. Thank God it didn't, but just look for that sliver and know that was very treacherous. Final thought, a couple more questions.
All right. I don't know if you can answer this. Did the producers
Yes,
tell
I fucked
Danny?
one of the whales.
Did the producers
tell Danny to check on Mia?
No. You know what? I think he probably got permission because Mia was in a place that the F-boys were not to go, but I'm positive
Yeah, I don't
that
remember
at that point in the show, if they were trying to get anyone to do anything, they would have asked Peter to do it. So the reason that they didn't ask Danny is because at that point, Danny really didn't have much of a chance with Mia.
Yeah.
That, if you look back, was the turning point because Danny took it upon himself to be actually concerned about Mia in a real way and go find her and comfort her. And so that's kind of where you
Peter
can
was
look
looking
into it.
for a new beanie at that time, so he couldn't.
Yeah, he was
get to her.
looking for the new winter collection from Zara that he like had up in his room, like a new scarf or some shit. Man, like he's changed. Like you have changed.
That was a good Peter, dude.
Yeah. No, like seriously,
Everything
man.
is
Like it's just like
yeah,
who you
just
are.
As
Like,
a person.
you know what annoys me about these guys?
You just have to like believe in yourself.
if
If
you
not,
are an F boy who wants to go on the show next season or a nice guy and you are, please look for other ways. When these women want compliments, I know that you think being an F boy, that you're trying to hide your F boyness, even if you're a nice guy. And when you compliment women, stop saying you're so strong. You're driven. You're like, like independent. Women, okay, that's nice. Say it once, but stop dancing around the thing you want to say. The thing that is natural to you to say is, I want to fuck you. You're extremely hot. You've got a great face. You've got great legs. You got a great ass. Give these women, including me, and I'm not saying do this to me on the show, but no woman on this show does not want to hear that. Look at the way they're dressed. And these women can't get those
Mercedes
kind
does
of
it very well.
Good. Because
like-
he's smart.
I know.
He's so smart because these girls are starved for those compliments because every guy is trying to toe the line and seem like a nice guy
Yeah.
by not focusing on the sexual elements of these girls. You can still be a nice guy and want to fuck us. Do you know that?
Well, Benedict has that trouble in the
Yes.
show of being sexual because he looks very sexual. He's a very sexual man, like looking wise. But then
Because he works on his body a lot?
yeah, he's just strong cheekbones. He looks like an F boy, I think.
Yes,
if,
he
if
does.
you saw him
he
in
does
the real
his
world.
eyebrows. He has, like
then
he
he's
said,
like,
resting
until
F-boy
she
face.
gives me an
which is
opening.
hilarious.
Oh, he called Jason Mraz on steroids about Tom, which was so funny.
Oh, that is
Oh,
funny.
yeah, that was so good.
Yes.
Dude, Tom punching that table. Tom gets a lot of airplay.
Yeah.
And he just looks like the Rock, the man made out of rocks, from
Yes. He seems like
Never-ending
you were saying that
Story.
he eats rocks.
Yeah, he eats rocks. Yeah.
I love Tom. Tom wrote me a DM and he said, sorry I took the show so seriously. I don't know what I was doing. And I was like, no, Tom. You were.
You need that. And
he
it was
needed
real.
that. And he feels embarrassed now that he was taking it so seriously because after the fact, he's just being mocked constantly. There's like a trumpet, like kind of playing behind him when he walks or does anything. And he's
The sad
being
trombone.
mocked constantly. Trombone, that's what I meant. Thank you, Noah. You're always on me about my wind instruments, and you always keep me humble. But it was really sweet of him to say, Nikki, I'm sorry I took the show so seriously. And I was like, no, Tom, I like that you did, because you know what? He brought sincerity to it. He really did journal. He really did. He does love Tamaris. Like I'm so excited for you guys to see the finale of this, how it all shakes out. And thank God these guys took it seriously.
I think it's just hard because you don't, you hear, I love Tamaris. I do everything for her. We don't see enough of that to really understand the bond and how much time they've spent together.
And now let me just say,
that
they
makes him
spent
look silly.
a lot of time together,
Yeah.
and I can tell he's a little frustrated right now at like they didn't show that enough. And
Yeah.
so if you are wondering why the connection between Tom and Tamaris is so strong, or why Tom is acting this way, just know there's a lot of things you didn't see because it had to be cut for time, but they really did have a intense connection that we all knew about. But I'm so excited for you guys to see the finale, and follow all these F-boys and things on Instagram if you're a part of the show, because these guys are like constantly going live with each other and divulging things about the show, and they're much more loose-lipped than even I am, I think, because they don't have a third season riding on it. So anyway, thank you for watching the show today or listening to the show. We'll be here all week. Don't be cut, and
Jack a boy off.
Jack Boy Island.